Alright folks, so this is one that I've been waiting a long time to talk about. I've seen images, some low quality images of this one surfacing around, going around the internet, and it's looked really interesting to me. And I've been excited for official images to come out, and finally we have some official images. This is the Dungeons & Dragons Red Dragon's Tales set from LEGO Ideas. It retails for $359.99 in the US, so $360 essentially. This one has 3,745 pieces, 6 minifigures it's looking like. We will talk about value towards the end of this video. Let's look at some pictures first and get all of our thoughts before we do anything. This, as well as the box art, is really the only images I've seen so far. So I'm excited to see what's going on here. First impressions are really good for me. Now, I'm a sucker for medieval style Lego. I love the medieval blacksmith set from Ideas. That's one of my favorite sets. I dreamed to have that medieval village set that came out recently, as well as the Lion Knight's castle. This looks awesome to me. So many little details going on here, so much color too. For something that's medieval, there's not a lot of gray here. I like that there's kind of a house thing going on here, and then you've got what could be a dungeon or a broken down castle in the back. I like that they're sticking with the black color for the trees, kind of similar to the Lion Knight's castle. I'm hoping that everything throughout here are prints, but I kind of doubt it for some reason. We've got some different animals going on, which hopefully we'll get a closer look at later. You can see the various figures, and of course that awesome looking dragon. I kind of wonder how big that thing will be in person. I like that it's brick built. I don't mind the fabric for the wings. I think they look really good. Here's the box art here. Not too much going on with that. Okay, so here's the back of the model. Now, once I go to the back, I kind of start to get a sense of how big this thing is, and it looks smaller to me after looking at the back. This is a pretty decently sized room right here. This down here, kind of small. You've got the slime cube there. I'm not sure what the exact definition of that is. Yeah, especially up here. There's not a whole lot of space for figures up here, but I do appreciate that it looks like that there is a feasible way for the figures to get about. You've got ladders throughout, stairs, all that sort of stuff. Looks like we got some skeletons there too. If you want to count those as minifigs, then I guess we'd have 1, 2, 3, we'd have 9 figures total. So that's interesting as well. Now, one thing to take into consideration, and you look at the front right here, and this is without the dragon, of course, but it looks pretty big, it looks pretty chunky for a Lego set, but you turn it around in the back, and a lot of this is hollow space, okay? And we're going to take that into account when we're thinking about value. A lot of the inside is hollow. It's got that dollhouse style where it's open on the back as well as on the side, I guess you could say. So it looks like it's somewhat modular style, I'm assuming. This is kind of a piece that comes off right here. You've got some tentacles coming out of the water, which just really extends that idea of this Dungeons & Dragons universe. So many different creatures and such. Some nice trees there. It does look like these are stickers right here, so that is unfortunate, but kind of expected. Lots of foliage going throughout. Looks pretty good to me. Here's another little piece that comes off. This doesn't really show us too much. I think it's just kind of showing us that it is in fact modular. Another sticker there for a painting. Not sure what those are supposed to represent. I'm not a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan. I've played it a couple of times, but I am a huge Lego fan, so I can tell you all about that stuff. I cannot tell you about the various Dungeons & Dragons lore though. Here's another little modular piece. Another sticker right there. That's kind of disappointing. That would have been a cool print to have. Looks good for what it is. Yep, there's the roof that comes off modular as well. The roof could probably look better, could have more detail, but from a distance, I think it looks okay. I like that they also detailed some smoke coming out of the chimney there. That's pretty nice. And here, this is probably, yep, that's probably the last modular portion. This part I think looks the best. I love how it's kind of a ruined castle. It feels like something that comes straight from like the Lord of the Rings universe or something like that. So I really think this part looks fantastic. It doesn't look like there's any big ugly, oh no, there's one big ugly rock piece here to make up the formation, but the fact that it took me a minute to notice it is a good sign. Here's some more interior detail. You've got a spider right there, like lots of little details throughout. I do kind of wonder what this trapdoor is all about, because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of room down there to really fit some things. Here's a better look at all of the figures kind of in the tavern. Again, not a lot of space here. It looks like they stuck with studs only for the floor here, not really any tiling there, and that's okay, I think. But not a whole lot of space at all for the figures here, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish they would have put more detail, more thought into the whole tavern space itself. And here's a good look at all of the characters you get. Maybe not all of them. Yeah, it looks like that there's one character. This guy right here is not in the lineup right here. I'm not going to really be able to tell you about what all these creatures represent. They look pretty nice though. And here's the back of the box, and this shows you that it is modular style. That dragon looks awesome as well. I wish we had a closer image of what he's looking like up close. So this is I think why they kept it in that dollhouse style where it's opened up on the back, is because they want you to use this in your actual D&D games. They want you to pick the characters for your characters. They want you to use this as sort of an arena or a board itself, moving the characters about with each move. I think that's really interesting. I'm not sure how practical that is, but it's interesting that they're advertising it in that way. Here's some more images showing the modular style of it. This is a good image of it right here. It really works with the color scheme they've got going on in the background there. Overall, though, when you look at it next to people, it doesn't look that huge. If we're talking about value, I'm not so sure yet. The dragon definitely helps this whole model look a lot bigger. And it looks like that's all the images we have. We do have a 360 view here that we can take a quick look at. Yeah, see, it looks really great from the front. Lots going on from the front, but it doesn't have that much depth to it. It's almost like it gets cut off sort of for the sake of the interior, of course. But a part of me does kind of wish that some of this was covered up, or maybe they would have extended it just a little bit. It looks really great from like this one angle. Yeah, so they expect you to kind of use this as a board for your actual Dungeons and Dragons game, which is really interesting. I highly doubt the dice are included. I think that's fairly obvious that would not be included. Oh, it looks like so that trapdoor there, if we take a look, that trapdoor is actually on the second floor. That's why. So it leads back down. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I like all the little creatures included. Lots of little details throughout. Fantastic. Overall, when it comes to value, I think I probably need to see this thing in person to really determine. But either way, $360, 3,745 pieces, and there's bound to be a lot of smaller pieces in here too. I mean, look at all those little plant pieces, tiles, all that sort of stuff. I don't think this is a great price for this. I really don't. Obviously, there had to have been some licensing fees that went into this to get the Dungeons & Dragons name. I think the ideal price for this thing would be around $300, and that accounts for the licensing as well. Obviously, I'd love to see it at like $250, but $300 seems most logical to me. $360 just seems to be pushing it a little bit. If this thing goes on sale within the next year or two, I probably will buy it because I really like the look of it. It is just a fantastic medieval fantasy piece. Even if you're not a fan of Dungeons & Dragons, this thing just looks good to the eye. You could take away the creatures and the various characters, and this thing is still a fantastic medieval display piece. So that's why I think this set really works, is that it works for fans of Dungeons & Dragons, fans of Lego, fans of medieval stuff. The audience is out there for this thing, but the price is a little steep. Those are my thoughts on this. I like it. Too expensive. Okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this thing? Do you plan on buying it? If you liked my analysis of what's going on here, please be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe so you can see more, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.